Hello and welcome to another edition of High School Game Day. I'm Chandler Todd.
I'm Chris Meyer.
And I'm Dylan Peterson.
This doesn't feel right.
Yeah. What in the bloodbath do you mean?
Here, switch some spots. Excuse me.
I'll go this.
Yep. This feels a lot better.
No, I don't like this spot. No, we should switch. Okay. Here, I'll move the table.
Suck in.
Okay, I'm there. Oh. Now this feels right.
Oh yeah, so much better.
Welcome back to another edition of High School Game Day. I'm Chandler Todd.
I'm Chris Meyer.
And I'm Dylan Peterson.
Now let's jump right in here.
Our first match of the night is Eagle Grove against South Central Calhoun. Chandler, what do you got?
Blood bath, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't even going to be a blink of an eye for poor SEC. This is going to be a bloodbath and a half. I can't wait to watch this one. Chris?
Eagle Grove is 0-7 and SEC is 7-0. That's all I got.
There's just nothing. There's nothing here, poor Eagle Grove. We watched them against Pocahontas area. We watched. They don't have much there. It's really kind of sad. I don't know. Maybe they'll even score against SEC. Dylan?
No, I'm all the way for SEC on this one. Just their offense is exceptional. Even with Eagle Grove being the defense that they're playing against, I mean SEC's offense is exceptional right off the bat. In general, their offense is strong.
I agree.
And then looking at Landon Sleisman, he's an excellent offensive player with 502 rushing yards. I mean,
he's a heck of a player. Not to mention my boy Cole Corey. The kid's boosting numbers all over the books. This is going to be something we have to watch.
I mean, their top three leading rushers are all over 350 yards. I mean, Eagle Grove is going to be blown out of the water after this game.
Keegan Meyer has 362. Nice last name. Last week, SEC, they didn't put Madrid right away. They didn't put him away right away. Mm-hmm. And this week, I'd like to see if SEC can get ahead and just not even keep it close.
I agree, and I think that's exactly what they're going to do tonight again. Not even to mention the 0-7 Eagle Grove, but tonight could be a tough matchup for them. We'll see.
All right, next we have Madrid and Pocahontas area.
Oh boy.
Dylan, what do you think?
All right, so I got PAC winning this game. Despite their tough loss against South Hamilton last week.
Double overtime.
Yes, it was a very close game. I just thought, despite the loss and PAC's, I'm just going to say this, I think they struggled with defense last week. Mm-hmm. And like as we were talking earlier, Chandler Todd, with their pass defense being not where it needed to be, subpar would be where I'd put it. And
going off that, Pocahontas couldn't find a way to stop South Hamilton.
No.
They needed to stop.
The running game for South Hamilton was so strong, and it really shouldn't have been with Pocahontas' defense. It was not there. It was not clicking. They were not stopping South Hamilton the way that, in my opinion, they should have been. But
Pocahontas has the ability to make stops, and they just weren't. They weren't putting the pieces together.
Right.
This week, I think they will. I think they'll stop Madrid and come back after this tough loss. They're going to get this win against Madrid, and who knows?
I'm going to have to agree with you on this, Chris. I think Pocahontas, especially coming after that game, but I see a lot there, and especially Cage Aarons, which, as we were all talking about, his performance last week was amazing. And like I say, no one who ever gives his best regrets it. That does not happen, and Cage has a lot to be proud of from last week. Aarons and Ehlers both have a lot to be proud of from last week. It was a tight game, and I think they're going to take a lot of that momentum off and use it against, especially tonight against Madrid.
Cage Aarons was very impressive last week.
Yeah.
As we were talking earlier, he had 100 yards in the first 3 plays?
Yeah.
Insane numbers.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah. One thing I loved watching Pocahontas last week was the counter. Trey Ehlers would fake a sweep to the right. The whole defense would fall for it. Trey would run up the other way. Beautiful play.
Right, I'm gonna agree. And coming off of also what Dylan, you had said there, South Hamilton's passing was weak. Their running game was strong, and Pocahontas area is really gonna have to use that tonight against Madrid.
And even with players like Cade Flaw, who's a strong runner in the first place, and then leaving our defense being as they were, I think it set Cade Flaw up pretty well.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree. Predictions tonight?
I got PAC on this one.
I think Alex Beggar, the Madrid's quarterback, could put up some decent numbers. But in the end, I think Pocahontas will come out
Hasn't
on
been
top.
doing too bad. I'm gonna have to. I agree with you on this one, Chris Mayer, but I'm also gonna have to go with Pocahontas on this one.
Alrighty. Let's jump into the game of the week. South Hamilton at Ogden. Chandler Todd, what do you got?
This one is where it's going to be pretty tricky. I've been watching a lot of that South Hamilton lately. We watched them last week, against Pocahontas area. They've got a strong team. Ogden, they've got some numbers, but is the strength still there? That's what we're going to have to watch for tonight.
You see, I disagree with you on that. I think Ogden is a good team not playing to the best of their ability.
Mm-hmm.
They have two dynamic players in Sam Christensen and Griffin Diggs. Not to mention Caden Mormon, who can catch the ball and have some great plays. Colby Mormon, excuse me. And we got to talk about the power couple in Sam Christensen and Griffin Diggs.
Yes, my boys.
Sam Christensen, running, passing off, quarterback. Great player.
I agree.
I love it. Then he could throw it to Griffin Diggs anywhere from the hash mark to out of bounds, and Griffin Diggs would go and catch it. Incredible receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ogden's going to win this game. They're 2-5, but I think they're going to change the pace here and come out and just compete and get this win tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to have to disagree with you on this. I'm seeing a lot from South Hamilton, like I said.
As demonstrated last week.
As demonstrated last week and the week before. The numbers are there. Ogden's really going to have to pull off a defense on this one. The running game is strong, and that's a quality I really like in South Hamilton's team is they keep going. Their momentum is there. They're all hyped up, and as I've been told back in my days from playing, you never drown in sweat. You cannot drown in sweat, and I see those guys working 150% out there, and that's what I really like to watch from South Hamilton, Dylan.
Now, I got South Hamilton winning this one, and just Cade Flaw is a beast, and I'm thinking he always will be, and just based on last week's performance, Cade was really set up, and he's one of those players that really looked at the field and attacked it,
right,
depending on the different situations, and I think that's really important to have, and a really important skill to have on a football team, and when you're an offensive player like Cade Flaw, it just really makes a big difference.
I agree. Chris, you could be right on this Ogden team. What I noticed again is when we first watched them, there was a lot of hesitation on the field, and they're pretty strong right off of they're strong off the line, but I'm just not sure on this one. If at first you don't succeed, try doing what your coach told you in the first place, and I think that could take a difference, especially in tonight's matchup with Ogden. So I'm gonna have to go with South Hamilton.
One big thing I don't like about South Hamilton's game is their kicking struggles. They had chances to win the game against Pocahontas, but
Time after time.
they couldn't kick the ball through the field goals.
Right, and
Not hard shots, pretty close.
Right, and when I had talked to some of the parents, actually, we had made our way around. I talked to some of the parents from Pocahontas, and they had said, well, no wonder we haven't seen this kicker all night because of his unexceptional performance that we had seen.
But it's more than that. I think in general, South Hamilton has to learn how to be clutch if they want to win this game. They had multiple chances to put Pocahontas away. It went to double overtime. They got the ball second in the first overtime. They would have scored, it would have been over.
Right, but I think that performance coming off of from that Pocahontas win, that performance, if they use that, what they did against Pocahontas, they use that tonight against Ogden, South Hamilton will take it.
Oh yeah.
That's my prediction for tonight.
Absolute blowout.
Let's talk a little bit about the playoffs.
Oh boy.
All right.
Oh boy.
The first two teams with the best records go to the playoffs. SEC, almost a guaranteed lock. They're 7-0.
I'm going to scratch that. I say guaranteed win.
I agree.
I know. There's so much there for SEC.
The two, especially if they win tonight.
Especially, right.
Then they're automatically in. South Hamilton and PAC, those two teams are on the fringe. Right now they're both 4-3. South Hamilton, not the hardest of schedules. They play Ogden and, right? Yeah, they play
Yes.
Ogden and Eagle Grove. They should be able to get 1 or 2 wins out of that, depending.
I think this is going to be a crazy year for the playoffs. Whoever's really fighting for that number 2 spot, that could decide it all. I think SEC, I'm going to have to agree with Chris on this. They are locked in there. They are pumped up. They're ready to go. Who's going to fight for that number 2 spot?
It'll be definitely
That's what we're
interesting
gonna
to see.
Right, I agree.
I think it's going to be a really tight squeeze for our district. And then looking at Pocahontas, I mean, especially, it is to my hope that we see Pocahontas in the playoffs this year. But I mean, realistically speaking, looking toward the future, I mean, it's not looking too good.
It's going to be
But it's definitely a hard way. Like as I said before, there's definitely a really good chance that we'll make it.
And that's the magnitude of last week's loss.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Since South Hamilton and Pocahontas have the same record, South Hamilton won head-to-head. So if they have the same record at the end of the season, South Hamilton's going to go.
And I hope that the Pocahontas area, the team can really put that into mindset. And I know they really want to. We got a phone call again from Mary Buck the other day. They really want to do this. They want to make everybody proud. They want to do it for themselves, for the team, for everybody out there. And that is the mindset you've got to have. I mean, if you go into it, oh well, if we win or lose. If it's not about winning or losing, why do we keep score? I mean, Pocahontas has got what it takes to go, and I think if they keep boosting just like they've been doing the past few weeks, it'll happen.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you as always for watching. This has been High School Game Day. I'm Chandler Todd.
I'm Chris Meyer.
And I'm Dylan Peterson.